Most people believe their mind is fixed. They think their habits define them. They think their thoughts are permanent. But your mind is not stone. It is more like clay. It reshapes itself with every idea you accept. Right now, your life follows the ideas you repeat daily. The way you see failure, the way you see success, the way you see yourself. One powerful idea can interrupt an old pattern. It can change a decision. It can redirect a life. This audiobook is not about quick motivation. It is about ideas that stay, ideas that quietly rewire how you think, feel, and act. If you want to keep exploring ideas that grow your mind, subscribe to this channel now. New audiobooks and chapters are shared here regularly. Your mind is already changing. The question is, in which direction? Chapter 1. Your mind is always changing. Most people believe their mind stays the same. They think their personality is fixed. They think their habits are permanent. But your mind changes every day, even when you do not notice it. Your brain is not a rock. It is a living system. It adapts to what you repeat. Every thought you think leaves a small mark. Every action you repeat strengthens a pattern. Every belief you accept shapes your choices. This process happens quietly. You rarely feel it, but it is always working. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. It simply means your brain can change. You do not need to remember the word. You only need to remember the truth. Your mind rewires based on use. What you repeat grows stronger. What you ignore grows weaker. This is true for skills. It is also true for thoughts. If you repeat doubt, doubt feels natural. If you repeat confidence, confidence feels natural. Your brain does not judge. It learns from repetition. Many people feel stuck because they repeat the same ideas. They say the same things to themselves. They expect the same outcomes. Then they wonder why life feels the same. Your mind follows familiar paths, like a trail in a forest. The more you walk the same trail, the clearer it becomes. The less you use a trail, the more it fades. Thoughts work the same way. If you always think, "I am not good at this," your brain strengthens that path. Soon, it feels true. Even if it is not, this does not mean you are weak. It means your brain is efficient. It saves energy by using known paths. Confidence grows when you understand this. You stop blaming yourself. You start guiding your mind. Guiding your mind begins with awareness. Notice your repeated thoughts, not to judge them, just to see them. Many thoughts run on autopilot. They sound like facts, but they are often habits. A thought repeated many times can feel like truth. But feeling true is not the same as being true. This realization is powerful. It gives you choice. Choice is where change begins. Another important idea is that your brain listens to emotion. Emotional thoughts leave deeper marks. A thought with feeling sticks longer. This is why strong experiences shape us. But small daily thoughts shape us too. Quiet repetition can be as powerful as big moments. If every day you tell yourself, "I always mess up," your brain learns that story. It starts to expect mistakes. It looks for proof. Soon it finds it everywhere. Not because it is true, because it is trained to see it. Training works both ways. If you gently repeat helpful ideas, your brain builds new paths. At first, new ideas feel strange. They feel less believable. This is normal. New paths are small at first. Old paths are wide. Walking a new path takes effort, but effort builds strength. With repetition, the new path grows. The old one fades. This is how rewiring works. It is not magic. It is practice. Another truth is that your environment shapes your mind. What you hear often becomes familiar. What you see often becomes normal. If you stay around negativity, negative ideas grow. If you surround yourself with growth, growth feels possible. Your brain absorbs patterns. It does not filter perfectly. This is why input matters. Books, conversations, media, people, they all feed your mind. You do not need to control everything. Just choose more of what helps. Small changes matter. Another important idea is identity. Your brain protects identity strongly. If you believe, "This is just who I am," your brain resists change. It wants consistency, but identity can evolve. You are not a fixed character. You are a developing person. When you say, "I am learning to be confident," your brain accepts growth. Growth language opens doors. Fixed language closes them. This is a simple shift, but it changes direction. Another reason people struggle to change is impatience. They try once. They expect fast results. The brain learns through repetition, not pressure. Pressure creates stress. Stress blocks learning. Calm repetition works better. Gentle practice sticks longer. Think of learning a skill. You would not expect mastery in one day. Mindset is the same. Another helpful idea is focusing on one change at a time. Too many changes overwhelm the brain. One idea repeated daily creates real change. Consistency beats intensity. Another truth is that your brain believes what you act on. Action teaches faster than words. If you act confident, even in small ways, your brain updates its beliefs. Tiny actions matter. Speaking once, trying once, showing up once, these moments teach your mind. Your brain says, "This is possible." Possibility builds confidence. Another important idea is self-talk. The voice in your head matters. Harsh self-talk creates fear. Supportive self-talk builds safety. You do not need fake praise. You need fair language. Instead of, "I am terrible at this," you can say, "I am improving." This feels small, but it changes direction. Direction shapes outcomes. Another challenge is comparing yourself to others. Comparison confuses your brain. Your journey is unique. Your timing is unique. Comparison steals focus. Focus drives change. Keep focus on your path. Another truth is that setbacks are part of rewiring. Old paths do not disappear instantly. You may fall back. That is normal. Falling back is not failure. It is practice. Each time you return to the new idea, the new path strengthens. Progress is not straight. It is layered. Another powerful idea is visualization. When you imagine actions clearly, your brain practices. It prepares pathways. This does not replace action. It supports it. Imagine speaking calmly. Imagine choosing better thoughts. Your brain listens. Another helpful idea is gratitude. Gratitude shifts focus. Focus shapes wiring. When you notice what works, your brain looks for more of it. This builds positive patterns. Another truth is that your mind follows attention. What you focus on grows. If you focus on problems only, problems feel bigger. If you focus on solutions, solutions appear more often. Attention guides wiring. Choose it gently. Another challenge is believing change is too late. It is not. The brain can change at any age. Learning never stops. Small effort still counts. Another important idea is patience. Rewiring is quiet. You may not notice daily, but over time it shows. One day, you react differently. You think differently. You choose differently. That is rewiring. Another truth is that ideas shape destiny. Not instantly, but steadily. The ideas you accept today shape the life you live tomorrow. This gives you responsibility. It also gives you power. You do not control everything, but you guide your mind. Guidance creates direction. Direction creates change. Your mind is already changing. It always is. The real question is, which ideas you feed it. Choose ideas that build. Choose ideas that open. Choose ideas that support growth. Repeat them gently. Act on them slowly. Your brain will listen. And over time, your mind will not be the same. It will be stronger, calmer, more open, not because of force, but because of the ideas you practiced. And this is only the beginning. Chapter 2. The ideas you repeat become your reality. Every day you repeat certain ideas in your mind. Some are loud, some are quiet, some you barely notice, but your brain notices all of them. Your mind learns from repetition, not from importance, not from truth, from repetition. If an idea appears often, your brain treats it as useful. It builds stronger pathways around it. It makes that idea easier to access. Soon, the idea feels automatic. It feels natural. It feels real. This is how ideas shape reality, not by magic, by pattern. Imagine hearing the same song every day. At first it is just a song. After many days, you remember it easily. Thoughts work the same way. The ideas you repeat become familiar. Familiar ideas feel true, even when they are not. This is why repeated negative thoughts can feel powerful. If you often think, "Nothing works out for me," your brain listens. It does not argue. It records. Then it looks for proof. It highlights failures. It ignores successes. Not because life is bad, because your brain is filtering. Your brain filters based on patterns. Patterns come from repetition. This explains why two people can live similar lives but see them differently. One repeats hopeful ideas. One repeats doubtful ones. Their brains build different filters. Filters shape experience. Experience shapes belief. Belief shapes action. Action shapes results. This cycle runs quietly. Many people live inside it without seeing it, but once you see it, you gain influence. You may not control every thought, but you can guide repetition. Guiding repetition is powerful. It starts small. Notice which ideas repeat in your mind, especially during stress, especially during failure. Stress reveals mental habits. Some people repeat blame. Some repeat fear. Some repeat doubt. These ideas are learned, not permanent. What is learned can be updated. Another important truth is this: your brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar change. Familiar thoughts feel safe, even if they limit you. New ideas feel uncertain, even if they help you. This is why change feels strange. Strange does not mean wrong. It means new. New ideas need time. They need repetition. Gentle repetition works best. Force creates resistance. Gentle practice builds acceptance. Another idea to understand is emotional repetition. Thoughts with emotion rewire faster. If you repeat an idea with feeling, your brain marks it as important. This is why emotional memories stick. You can use this wisely. When you repeat helpful ideas, add calm emotion, add belief, add intention. Your brain responds. Another challenge people face is passive repetition. Ideas repeat from environment, from people, from media. If you hear, "The world is hopeless," often enough, your brain records it. Be mindful of input. You do not need to avoid everything negative. Just increase helpful input. Balance matters. Another truth is that your inner language shapes your inner world. Language directs focus. If you say, "I have to," life feels heavy. If you say, "I choose to," life feels lighter. Small wording shift. Change perception. Perception shapes emotion. Emotion shapes memory. Memory shapes wiring. Everything connects. Another important idea is that repetition does not need to be loud. Quiet thoughts count. Passing thoughts count. Your brain is always learning. This is why awareness matters. When you catch a negative loop, you can interrupt gently. You do not need to fight it. You can redirect. Redirection builds new paths. For example, if your mind says, "I always fail," you can shift to, "I am learning." This is not denial. It is direction. Direction guides the brain. Another challenge is expecting instant belief. New ideas may feel fake. That is normal. Belief grows with evidence. Evidence comes from action. Action plus repetition builds belief. Belief strengthens pathways. Another truth is that your brain likes stories. Stories organize ideas. They give meaning. The story you tell yourself matters. If your story is, "I never succeed," your brain supports it. If your story is, "I grow through effort," your brain supports that too. Your brain serves the story you repeat. Choose stories wisely. Another important idea is mental rehearsal. When you mentally repeat helpful ideas, you prepare your brain. Preparation reduces fear. Reduced fear supports action. Action creates new evidence. Evidence reinforces ideas. This cycle can work for you. Another challenge is mental clutter. Too many ideas confuse the brain. Focus on a few strong ideas. Repeat them daily. Consistency beats variety. Another truth is that your brain deletes unused paths. Ideas you stop repeating lose strength. They fade slowly. This gives hope. Old doubts can weaken when not fed. Feed what you want to grow. Another important idea is patience. Repetition works quietly. You may not notice change daily, but patterns shift. One day, you think differently, react differently. That is repetition at work. Another challenge is frustration. People quit too soon, but rewiring takes time. Time plus repetition creates change. Another truth is that small ideas matter. Tiny shifts repeated daily reshape thinking. Do not wait for big ideas only. Small helpful ideas repeated create real change. Another important idea is identity reinforcement. When you repeat, "I am learning," your brain supports growth identity. Identity guides behavior. Behavior builds reality. Another challenge is outside voices. Others may repeat limiting ideas to you. You do not need to accept them. Not every repeated idea deserves space in your mind. Choose what to keep. Another truth is that awareness creates choice. Choice creates change. Change builds confidence. Confidence supports new ideas. This positive cycle grows slowly, but it grows. Another helpful practice is ending your day with reflection. Notice which ideas you repeated. This builds awareness. Awareness improves direction. Another important idea is self-respect. Choose ideas that respect you. Harsh repetition hurts confidence. Supportive repetition builds strength. Another challenge is boredom. Repetition can feel dull, but the brain learns through it. Boring practice creates powerful change. Another truth is that your future self is shaped by current repetition. Today's ideas become tomorrow's mindset. This gives your choices meaning. Another important idea is that you are not your thoughts. You are the one choosing which to repeat. This distance gives power. Another challenge is distraction. Distraction breaks repetition. Focus strengthens it. Protect your focus gently. Another truth is that you do not need perfection. You need direction. Direction repeated creates momentum. Momentum builds change. Another important idea is hope. Hope is an idea too. Repeated hope wires optimism. Optimism supports action. Action builds results. Results reinforce hope. Another challenge is doubt returning. It will return to your chosen ideas. Repetition wins long term. Another truth is that your mind listens to what you practice most. Practice shapes pathways. Pathways shape perception. Perception shapes life. Another important idea is simplicity. Simple ideas repeating work better than complex ones. Keep it clear. Keep it steady. Another challenge is expecting motivation daily. Motivation fades. Repetition remains. Habit beats motivation. Another truth is that you are already repeating ideas. The question is, which ones? Choose gently. Repeat patiently. Your brain will follow. And slowly, your repeated ideas become your lived reality. Not overnight, but over time, and that is how minds change. Chapter 3. Why your brain believes what you tell it. Your brain is always listening to you, not only when you speak out loud, but when you think quietly. Every sentence you repeat in your mind teaches your brain something about the world. and something about you. Many people think thoughts are harmless. They think a thought is just a thought. But repeated thoughts become instructions. Your brain follows instructions. If you often think, "I am bad at remembering names," your brain accepts this as a rule. Then it stops trying as hard. It pays less attention. It expects failure. Soon, forgetting names feels normal, not because you cannot remember, but because your brain learned the pattern. Your brain wants to be efficient. It saves energy by trusting your words. It assumes your repeated thoughts are true. It does not check reality carefully. It trusts repetition. This is not weakness. It is design. Your brain is built to learn from you. This means something important. The way you speak to yourself matters. Your inner voice shapes your mental world. Some people grow up hearing supportive words. Others grow up hearing doubt or criticism. Over time, those voices become their own inner voice. They repeat what they heard, even when no one else is around. But here is the hopeful truth. Inner language can change. You can update it. You can teach your brain new messages. At first, this feels strange. Old thoughts feel familiar. New thoughts feel weak. Familiar does not mean correct. It only means repeated. New thoughts need time. They need patience. Your brain learns like a student. It listens to the teacher it hears most. If the teacher is harsh, learning feels heavy. If the teacher is calm, learning feels safe. You are that teacher. Another important truth is that your brain fills gaps. If something is unclear, your brain guesses, and those guesses come from beliefs. If you believe people dislike you, your brain will notice neutral faces and label them as negative. If you believe people are kind, your brain will notice small kindness. Same world, different filter. Your words build the filter. This explains why two people can experience the same event but feel different about it. Their inner language is different. One says, "That was embarrassing." Another says, "That was a learning moment." Their brains record different lessons. Those lessons shape future reactions. Another powerful idea is expectation. Your brain responds to expectations strongly. If you expect failure, your body feels tense. Your focus drops. If you expect growth, your body relaxes. Your focus improves. Expectations guide behavior. Behavior creates outcomes. Outcomes reinforce expectations. This loop runs quietly. You can guide it gently. Start by noticing expectation, especially before challenges. Do you expect to struggle or to learn? Learning expectations reduce fear. Fear blocks performance. Calm supports it. Another truth is that your brain believes emotion. Emotional statements feel real. If you say with frustration, "I can't do this," your brain listens closely. Emotion highlights importance. You can use this wisely. Pair helpful thoughts with calm emotion. Not force, not pressure. Calm belief teaches better. Another challenge is absolute language. Words like always and never train your brain poorly. If you say, "I always fail," your brain stops looking for success. It searches for proof of failure. But life is rarely always or never. More accurate language helps your brain learn better. You can say, "Sometimes I struggle," or "I am improving." Accuracy builds trust with yourself. Another important idea is that your brain protects consistency. It likes when your actions match your beliefs. If your belief is negative, your brain may guide you and toward actions that fit it. Not to hurt you, to stay consistent. This is why belief change matters. New beliefs allow new actions. New actions create new results. Results update beliefs. This cycle can help you. Another truth is that your brain responds to questions. Questions open thinking. If you ask, "Why am I so bad at this?" your brain searches for flaws. If you ask, "How can I improve?" your brain searches for solutions. The question directs the search. Better questions create better focus. Another important idea is mental images. Your brain reacts to pictures in your mind, not only words. If you imagine failure often, your brain prepares for it. If you imagine calm effort, your brain prepares for that. Imagination is rehearsal. Rehearsal builds pathways. You can picture yourself trying, learning, staying calm. This helps your brain prepare. Another challenge is old beliefs from the past. Some beliefs were formed in childhood, some from single moments. One bad experience can become a big story. But old stories do not have to stay. You can question them, ask if they still fit your life. Many do not. Updating beliefs is part of growth. Another truth is that repetition beats intensity. A calm thought repeated daily is stronger than a loud thought once. Consistency teaches the brain. This is good news. You do not need dramatic change. You need steady practice. Another important idea is self-respect in language. If your inner voice is cruel, your brain feels unsafe. Safety helps learning. A respectful tone inside your mind improves change. Respect does not mean lying. It means fairness. Fair language builds trust. Another challenge is believing every thought. Not all thoughts are facts. Some are habits. Some are fears. You can notice thoughts without obeying them. This space gives freedom. Another truth is that attention is fuel. What you focus on grows. If you focus on mistakes, your brain highlights them. If you focus on effort, your brain values progress. Progress builds motivation. Another important idea is that change feels slow while it is happening, but over time, small shifts add up. One day, you react differently, speak differently, choose differently. That is belief change. Another challenge is impatience. The brain learns step by step. Rushing creates frustration. Frustration reduces learning. Patience supports rewiring. Another truth is that you can guide your brain without forcing it. Gentle direction works best, like guiding water instead of pushing it. Small daily guidance reshapes thinking. Another important idea is identity language. If you say, "I am learning," your brain stays open. If you say, "This is just me," your brain closes change. Growth language invites possibility. Another challenge is outside negativity. Other people's words can echo in your mind. You can choose which echoes stay. Not every voice deserves space. Choose wisely. Another truth is that your brain wants to help you. Even negative patterns started as protection. Thank your brain silently. Then guide it better. This creates cooperation. Another important idea is that belief changes perception. Perception changes choices. Choices change direction. Direction shapes life. This is not instant, but it is real. Another challenge is forgetting to notice progress. Progress builds belief. Notice small wins. They teach your brain success. Another truth is that you are not stuck. A flexible brain can learn new paths. Age does not stop change. Practice builds change. Another important idea is calm repetition. Say helpful truths quietly. Repeat them daily. Your brain will listen. Another challenge is doubt. Doubt may appear. Let it pass. Return to your chosen thoughts. Return again and again. Repetition wins slowly. Another truth is that your inner voice becomes your companion. Make it supportive. A supportive voice builds resilience. Resilience supports growth. Another important idea is awareness. You cannot change what you do not notice. Notice patterns gently. Awareness opens doors. Another challenge is expecting perfection. Perfection is not required. Direction is. Direction plus repetition creates change. Your brain believes what you tell it often. Tell it stories of growth. Tell it stories of effort. Tell it stories of learning, not loudly, not forcefully, calmly, consistently. your brain will follow, and over time, your inner world will shift. Your reactions will shift. Your confidence will shift, because your brain learned a new story, a story you chose. And that story will guide your future thinking. Chapter 4. How small ideas create big life changes. Many people wait for big ideas. They look for one powerful insight that will change everything. They believe transformation comes from dramatic moments. But real change often begins quietly. It begins with small ideas repeated over time. A small idea may seem weak. It may feel too simple. But your brain does not measure size. It measures repetition. A small idea repeated daily can grow strong roots. Those roots shape decisions. Decisions shape direction. Direction shapes life. This is how small ideas create big change. Think about habits. A tiny habit done daily changes results over time. Ideas work the same way. A small belief like "I can improve" seems simple, but if you repeat it and act on it, your brain starts looking for ways to improve. You notice opportunities, you try more often, you quit less quickly. All from one small idea. Another small idea is effort matters. If you truly accept this, mistakes feel different. They feel like steps, not endings. This changes behavior. Behavior repeated creates skill. Skill builds confidence, all from a small idea. Many people ignore small ideas because they want fast change. They want instant results. But the brain learns slowly. It builds layer by layer. Small layers become strong. Another truth is that small ideas are easier to accept. Big ideas can feel scary. They demand too much change. Small ideas feel safe. The brain allows them in. Once inside, they begin to grow. Growth happens quietly. You may not notice daily, but over months, thinking shifts. Another important idea is the power of direction. A small change in direction leads to a different destination. A plane that shifts slightly lands in a new place. Your mind works similarly. A small shift in belief changes choices. Choices repeating change outcomes. Another small idea is "I can learn this." This idea keeps the brain open. An open brain learns faster. A closed brain resists. Learning depends on openness. Another helpful small idea is start before you feel ready. Waiting for readiness often leads to delay. Action creates readiness. Action teaches the brain that trying is safe. Safety reduces fear. Reduced fear increases action. This cycle builds growth. Another small idea is progress counts. When you value progress, you notice small wins. Noticing wins boosts motivation. Motivation supports repetition. Repetition builds change. Another truth is that small ideas reduce pressure. Pressure blocks learning. Gentle change sticks longer. Your brain prefers safety over force. Another important idea is daily exposure. If a small helpful idea appears daily, your brain marks it. Important. Importance strengthens memory. Memory strengthens pathways. Pathways guide behavior. Another challenge is underestimating small steps. People dismiss them, but big results are built from small steps, like building a wall, one brick at a time. Each brick matters. Another helpful small idea is one moment at a time. This reduces overwhelm. An overwhelmed brain shuts down. A calm brain learns. Calm supports rewiring. Another truth is that small ideas build identity. If you repeat, "I am learning daily," your identity shifts. Identity guides behavior. Behavior repeated creates results. Results reinforce identity. This cycle grows quietly. Another small idea is mistakes teach me. This removes fear of failure. Fear blocks action. Reduced fear encourages trying. Trying builds experience. Experience builds wisdom. Another important idea is consistency. Small ideas need repetition. One time is not enough. Daily exposure works better. Consistency builds familiarity. Familiarity builds comfort. Comfort supports belief. Another helpful small idea is I can try again. This keeps the brain flexible. Flexibility allows growth. Rigid thinking blocks it. Another truth is that small ideas protect energy. Big dramatic change drains willpower. Small change feels manageable. Manageable change lasts longer. Another small idea is focus on what I can control. Control gives clarity. Clarity reduces anxiety. Reduced anxiety supports action. Another important idea is momentum. Small actions create it. Momentum makes change easier. Once moving, the brain resists stopping. This helps growth continue. Another challenge is boredom. Small ideas can feel dull, but repetition teaches the brain. Boring practice creates strong wiring. Another helpful idea is show up anyway. Showing up builds trust with yourself. Self-trust builds confidence. Confidence supports action. Another small idea is done is better than perfect. Perfection delays action. Action teaches faster. Learning comes from doing. Another truth is that small ideas shape daily choices. Daily choices shape life. Life is built from days. Days are shaped by thoughts. Thoughts repeated shape days. Another helpful small idea is slow is still progress. This reduces frustration. Frustration stops learning. Patience supports it. Another important idea is attention. Give attention to helpful ideas. Attention feeds growth. Ignored ideas fade. Choose what to feed. Another challenge is wanting big results fast. Fast change rarely lasts. Slow change roots deeply. Deep roots hold stronger. Another small idea is I am becoming better. This supports growth identity. Growth identity welcomes learning. Another truth is that small ideas reduce fear because they feel safe. Safety helps the brain accept change. Another helpful idea is today matters. This focuses effort. Focused effort builds progress. Another important idea is that small ideas compound. Like savings growing slowly, tiny deposits create big totals. Tiny thoughts create big shifts. Another challenge is forgetting to repeat. Repetition is key. Without it, ideas fade. With it, ideas grow. Another small idea is I am responsible for my direction. This gives power. Power increases effort. Effort creates change. Another truth is that big life changes often come from small ideas practiced daily, not from one moment, from many small ones. Another helpful idea is keep it simple. Simple ideas repeat easily. Complex ones fade. Simplicity supports memory. Another important idea is belief through action. Acting on small ideas proves them. Proof builds belief. Belief strengthens pathways. Another challenge is doubt. Doubt may appear. Return to small ideas. Repeat them gently. They grow with time. Another truth is that your mind responds to practice. Practice shapes wiring. Wiring shapes thinking. Thinking shapes life. Another helpful idea is little by little. This protects patience. Patience supports consistency. Consistency builds change. Another important idea is hope. Hope can be small. Small hope repeated creates optimism. Optimism supports effort. Effort builds results. Results reinforce hope. This cycle grows. Small ideas may look tiny, but they are seeds. Seeds grow into trees with time and care. Your mind is soil. Your repetition is water. Your attention is sunlight. Give small ideas time. They will grow. And one day you will notice your thinking changed. Your choices changed. Your life direction changed. Not from one big idea, but from many small ones. You chose to repeat. Chapter 5. The hidden power of your daily mental diet. Every day, you feed your mind. Not with food, with ideas. From the moment you wake up, your brain receives messages from your phone, from people, from your environment, from your own thoughts. All of this is your mental diet. Just like a body reacts to food, your mind reacts to ideas. Healthy input builds strength. Poor input drains energy. Many people watch what they eat, but ignore what they think. Yet your thoughts shape your mood. Your mood shapes your actions. Your actions shape your life. This makes your mental diet very important. Your brain absorbs what it sees often. It learns from repetition. It normalizes what surrounds it. If your daily input is negative, your brain learns negativity. If your daily input is hopeful, your brain learns possibility. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing balance. Another truth is that your brain cannot fully separate useful from useless input. It records what is repeated. If you scroll through fear all day, your brain learns fear. If you listen to growth ideas, your brain learns growth. Input becomes internal language. Internal language becomes belief. Belief guides behavior. Many people feel tired mentally without knowing why. Often their mind is overloaded with noise. Too much information creates clutter. A cluttered mind struggles to focus. Focus is needed for change. Reducing noise helps clarity. Clarity supports better thinking. Another important idea is emotional nutrition. Some content drains you. Some content lifts you. Your brain remembers emotion. Emotion marks importance. Choose inputs that support calm and growth. You do not need to avoid news or difficult topics completely. Just avoid drowning in them. Balance protects your energy. Another challenge is passive consumption. When you consume without thinking, ideas slip in quietly. They shape beliefs without permission. Awareness protects your mind. Ask yourself how input makes you feel. Tense, calm, motivated, drained. Your feelings give clues. Another truth is that people around you are part of your mental diet. Conversations feed the mind. Some people encourage growth. Some repeat doubt. You cannot control everyone, but you can choose influence. Spend more time with supportive voices, less time with constant negativity. This is not selfish, it is healthy. Another important idea is morning input. Your brain is fresh after sleep. It absorbs easily. What you see first sets direction. If you start with stress, your mind feels rushed. If you start calmly, your mind feels steady. Small morning choices shape the day. Another helpful idea is protecting quiet time. Silence helps the brain reset. A mind always filled cannot process well. Quiet moments build clarity. Clarity improves thinking. Another truth is that your inner talk is part of your diet. You feed yourself words daily. Harsh words drain energy. Supportive words build it. Choose fair language, not fake praise, fair support. Another challenge is information overload. Too much advice creates confusion. Confusion stops action. Simple ideas repeated. Tombour detta. Choose a few strong messages. Repeat them. This builds focus. Another important idea is digital boundaries. Endless scrolling feeds comparison. Comparison hurts confidence. Limit exposure gently. Protect your attention. Attention is mental energy. Energy fuels change. Another helpful idea is learning input. Books, audiobooks, thoughtful conversations. These feed growth. Growth input expands perspective. Perspective reduces fear. Another truth is that your environment sends signals. A messy space creates mental noise. A calm space supports calm thinking. Small order outside helps order inside. Another challenge is emotional contagion. Moods spread. If you stay around stress, your mind learns stress. If you stay around calm, Your mind learns calm. Choose your environment when possible. Another important idea is reflection. Ask what you fed your mind today. Did it help? Did it drain? This builds awareness. Awareness guides change. Another helpful idea is mental hydration. Positive ideas are like water. They refresh thinking. You need them daily, not once a month. Daily nourishment matters. Another truth is that your brain believes what it hears often. Even jokes repeated shape belief. Be mindful of repeated humor about yourself. Words matter. Another challenge is comfort with negativity. Some people get used to it. Familiar does not mean healthy. You can change input slowly. Small upgrades matter. Another important idea is protecting focus time. Deep thinking needs quiet. Constant interruption breaks wiring. Focus builds strong pathways. Another helpful idea is gratitude input. Notice what works. This feeds optimism. Optimism supports effort. Effort builds change. Another truth is that your future mind depends on today's input. Daily diet shapes wiring. Wiring shapes reactions. Reactions shape life. Another challenge is thinking input does not matter. It does. Tiny inputs repeated shape mindset. Another important idea is replacing, not just removing. Remove harmful input. Add helpful input. The brain needs direction. Another helpful idea is choosing quality over quantity. A few strong ideas beat endless noise. Another truth is that your mind reflected what you feed it. Feed calm, feed growth, grow growth. Another challenge is discipline. You may forget, return gently. No guilt needed. Consistency beats perfection. Another important idea is evening input. Your brain processes at night. End your day with calm ideas. This influences sleep. Sleep supports rewiring. Another helpful idea is mental rest days. Breaks prevent overload. A rested brain learns faster. Another truth is that mental diet is lifelong. You always feed your mind. Choose wisely. Another challenge is outside pressure. Others choose their input. You choose yours. Protect your space kindly. Another important idea is curiosity. Curious input keeps the mind open. Openness supports growth. Another helpful idea is self-checks. Pause and notice what you consume. Awareness creates choice. Choice guides diet. Another truth is that your mind becomes what it consumes. Slowly, quietly, surely, feed it ideas that build strength. Feed it ideas that create hope. Feed it ideas that support growth. Not once, daily, because your mental diet shapes your mental future, and your mental future shapes your life. Chapter 6: How Emotions Strengthen Mental Wiring. Your brain does not treat all thoughts equally. Some thoughts pass quickly. Some stay for years. The difference is often emotion. Emotion acts like glue for memory. When a thought carries feeling, your brain marks it as important. Important thoughts get stronger wiring. This is why you remember emotional moments clearly. A joyful day, an embarrassing moment, a fearful experience. Emotion tells the brain, save this. This system helps survival, but it also shapes mindset. If strong emotions repeat around certain ideas, those ideas grow powerful. For example, if you feel fear while trying, your brain may link fear to effort. Later, trying feels scary, not because trying is bad, but because emotion wired it. This wiring can change. Emotion does not only wire fear, it wires hope too. If you feel pride after effort, your brain links effort with reward. Then effort feels safer. This is why celebrating progress matters. It adds positive emotion to helpful actions. Your brain learns, this is good, repeat it. Another truth is that your brain remembers emotional tone, more than exact details. You may forget words, but remember how something felt. Feelings shape interpretation. Interpretation shapes belief. Belief guides behavior. This is why emotional awareness supports mental change. If you ignore emotions, they still wire your brain. Noticing emotions gives you influence. Another important idea is that suppressed emotions do not disappear. They stay active quietly. Unnoticed emotions still shape reactions. Acknowledging feeling reduces their control. Naming a feeling calms the brain. Simple awareness helps. Another challenge is emotional repetition. If stress appears daily, stress wiring strengthens. Chronic emotion creates strong pathways. This does not mean you are broken. It means your brain adapted. Adaptation can update. Calm moments repeated can soften stress wiring. Small, calm experiences matter more than you think. Another helpful idea is pairing calm with new thoughts. When you feel relaxed, introduce helpful ideas. The brain learns better in calm states. A calm brain accepts new wiring. A stressed brain focuses on survival. This is why forcing change during panic rarely works. Gentle moments teach more. Another truth is that your body influences emotion. Breathing slowly, calm signals help new learning. Body and mind work together. Another important idea is emotional contrast. If you only feel pressure while learning, your brain links growth with stress. Add moments of ease. Smile, relax, encourage yourself. This balances wiring. Another challenge is emotional memory from the past. Old feeling can echo today. A past failure may still shape confidence, but memory is not destiny. New experience can update old wiring. Repetition with new emotion creates change. Another helpful idea is safe discomfort. Growth needs some discomfort, but it should feel safe. Too much fear blocks learning. Gentle challenge supports it. Another truth is that joy accelerates learning. When you enjoy something, your brain pays attention. Enjoyment strengthens memory. Find small joy in progress. It helps wiring. Another important idea is self-compassion. Harsh emotion creates fear. Kind emotion creates safety. Safety supports change. You do not need to praise falsely. You need to be fair. Fairness builds trust. Another challenge is emotional overload. Too many feelings confuse the brain. Pause helps. Quiet helps. Reflection helps. A settled mind learns better. Another helpful idea is emotional labeling. Saying, "I feel nervous," creates distance. Distance reduces intensity. Reduced intensity supports clarity. Another truth is that repeated anger wires anger quickly. The brain protects patterns. Interrupting anger gently prevents strong wiring. This takes practice. Practice builds awareness. Another important idea is emotional recovery. After a hard moment, calm yourself. This teaches resilience. And resilience strengthens confidence. Another challenge is guilt about feelings. Feelings are signals, not flaws. Accepting feeling reduces struggle. Reduced struggle supports learning. Another helpful idea is pairing growth with positive emotion. Feel proud of trying. Pride marks importance. Importance strengthens wiring. Another truth is that connection creates positive emotion. Supportive people help rewiring. Encouragement matters. Another important idea is that your brain does not need big emotion only. Small feelings repeated still wire. A small calm moment daily reshapes patterns. Another challenge is ignoring joy. Some people dismiss success. This weakens positive wiring. Notice wins. Let yourself feel good. This teaches your brain. Another helpful idea is emotional balance. You do not need constant positivity. You need healthy processing. Feel, notice, release. This keeps wiring flexible. Another truth is that fear fades when safety repeats. Safe repetition rebuilds confidence. Another important idea is that your nervous system learns from experience, not from lectures. Experience plus emotion teaches fastest. Another challenge is rushing healing. Emotional rewiring takes time. Patience supports it. Another helpful idea is calming rituals. Simple habits signal safety. Safety opens learning. Another truth is that your future reactions depend on emotional history. Change emotional history and reactions shift. Another important idea is that you can guide emotion through focus. Focus on progress. Focus on effort. This shapes feeling. Feeling shapes wiring. Another challenge is emotional exhaustion. Rest matters. A tired brain struggles to rewire. Sleep supports change. Another helpful idea is breathing before reacting. A breath creates space. Space allows choice. Choice builds confidence. Another truth is that emotions are temporary. They move. You do not need to trap them. Let them pass. This keeps pathways flexible. Another important idea is gratitude. Gratitude creates warm emotion. Warm emotion supports positive wiring. Another challenge is believing emotions are weakness. They are information. Used wisely, they guide growth. Another helpful idea is reflection after emotional moments. Ask what you learned. Learning rewires meaning. Another truth is that calm repetition with gentle emotion changes the brain. Not force, not pressure. Calm guidance works. Your emotions are not enemies. They are signals. When you understand them, they become tools. Tools for growth. Tools for rewiring. Tools for change. Because emotion strengthens mental wiring. And when you guide emotion wisely, you guide your mind wisely. That is how real change lasts. Chapter 7. Your environment quietly programs your mind. Many people think their thoughts come only from inside. They believe mindset is fully personal. They believe willpower controls everything. But your environment shapes your mind every day. Where you spend time, who you spend time with, what you see often, what you hear often. All of these quietly program your thinking. Your brain is always scanning your surroundings. It looks for patterns. It learns what is normal. Whatever feels normal starts to feel true. If you live in a negative environment, negative thinking can feel natural. If you live in a growth-focused environment, possibility feels natural. This does not mean you are weak. It means your brain adapts. Adaptation helps survival, but it can also shape beliefs. Another truth is that your brain trusts repeated exposure. If you hear something often, your brain lowers its guard. It begins to accept it. Even jokes repeated can shape belief. Even casual comments can leave marks. This is why environment matters. Another important idea is visual environment. What you see daily influences mood. Clutter can create tension. Order can create calm. Your brain reacts to space. A calm space supports calm thinking. This does not require perfection. Small improvements help. A clean corner, a quiet spot, a peaceful view. These small details matter. Another challenge is social environment. People influence mindset strongly. If you stay around constant doubt, your brain hears doubt daily. If you stay around encouragement, your brain hears possibility. You do not need perfect people. You need supportive influence. Support shapes confidence. Another truth is that attitudes spread. Emotions spread too. If a group complains often, complaint feels normal. If a group looks for solutions, solutions feel possible. Energy is contagious. Choose your exposure wisely when you can. Another important idea is digital environment. Your phone is an environment. Your feed is an environment. What appears daily teaches your brain. If your feed shows comparison, your brain learns comparison. If it shows learning, your brain learns growth. You do not need to quit technology, just guide what you see. Small changes help. Another challenge is feeling stuck in an environment. Sometimes you cannot change where you live or work, but you can add influences, books, audio, learning spaces. Small additions balance your environment. Balance supports mindset. Another helpful idea is creating mental anchors, a favorite place to think, a calm routine, a learning habit. These signal safety. Safety supports rewiring. Another truth is that your brain connects environment with emotion. If a place holds stress, your brain remembers. If a place holds calm, your brain remembers. You can create new associations, add calm activity to stressful spaces. Slowly, meaning changes. Another important idea is routine environment. Daily routines shape mental patterns. A rushed morning creates rushed thinking. A calm start creates steady focus. Small routines matter. Another challenge is background noise. Constant noise tires the brain. Quiet improves clarity. Clarity supports learning. Find small, quiet moments. They help more than you think. Another helpful idea is growth reminders. Notes, quotes, visual cues. These repeat ideas gently. Gentle repetition wires slowly. Another truth is that your environment affects behavior first, then mindset. If healthy choices are easier in your space, you make them more. Actions repeaters shape belief. Belief shapes identity. Environment starts the cycle. Another important idea is protecting focus zones. Spaces for thinking. Spaces for learning. Your brain links space with activity. Use this wisely. Another challenge is emotional environments. Tense spaces wire stress. Calm spaces wire safety. Notice how places feel. Feeling guides wiring. Another helpful idea is nature. Natural spaces calm the nervous system. Calm supports reflection. Reflection supports change. Even short time outside helps. Another truth is that environment can either drain or recharge you. Notice the difference. Move toward recharge when possible. Another important idea is personal boundaries. Limit exposure to constant negativity. Not with anger, with care. Protecting your mind is healthy. Another challenge is thinking environment does not matter. It does. Tiny influences repeated shape thinking. Another helpful idea is designing cues. Place learning tools where you see them. Visibility creates repetition. Repetition builds wiring. Another truth is that success leaves clues. Environments of growth often share patterns, order, learning, support. You can copy small parts. Small parts still help. Another important idea is emotional safety. Safe environment. Allow risk. Risk supports growth. Growth builds confidence. Another challenge is distraction. Too many inputs scatter attention. Attention fuels change. Protect it gently. Another helpful idea is reset spaces. A place to calm down. A place to think. Resetting prevents overload. Another truth is that your brain links people with feelings. Supportive people become safety signals. Safety helps rewiring. Another important idea is gradual change. You do not need a perfect environment. Improve one thing. One change still helps. Another challenge is comparison environments. Too much comparisons feeds insecurity. Limit it. Focus on your path. Another helpful idea is intentional exposure. Choose content that teaches. Learning input expands thinking. Another truth is that your environment should support your goals. If it fights your goals, change small parts. Small shifts matter. Another important idea is repetition through space. What you see daily teaches daily. Use this. Place helpful cues around you. Another challenge is believing you must do it alone. Support speeds growth. Community matters. Another helpful idea is reflection time. Notice which spaces help you think. Spend more time there. Another truth is that your environment does not need to be perfect. It needs to be supportive. Support builds confidence. Another important idea is awareness. Notice how places affect you. Awareness creates choice. Choice guides change. Another challenge is ignoring small stressors. Small stress repeating. Wires tension. Reduce what you can. Another helpful idea is calm endings to your day. Evening environment shapes sleep. Sleep supports rewiring. Another truth is that your mind adapts to surroundings. Guide surroundings gently. Another important idea is ownership. You may not control everything, but you influence something. Start there. Another challenge is waiting for big change. Big change starts small. One shift matters. Another helpful idea is alignment. Match your space to your goals. Alignment reduces friction. Another truth is that your environment is always teaching you. Make sure it teaches what you want to learn, because your surroundings quietly shape your thinking. Your thinking shapes your actions. Your actions shape your life. Guide your environment, and you guide your mind. And when your mind changes, your future changes too. Chapter 8. How action turns ideas into real change. Ideas are powerful. They can inspire you. They can shift your thinking. They can open your mind. But ideas alone do not change your life. Action does. Many people collect ideas. They read, they listen, they learn, but they stop there. Their mind feels busy, but their life stays the same. Your brain learns best from action, not from thinking alone. Thinking prepares. Action teaches. When you act on an idea, your brain receives proof. Proof is powerful. Proof tells your brain, this is real. Once something feels real, your brain builds stronger wiring. This is how ideas become habits. This is how habits become identity. Another truth is that small actions are enough. You do not need big moves. Tiny steps repeated teach your brain safely. If you want to be more confident, one small action matters. Speaking once, trying once, showing up once. Each action sends a message. The message says, this is possible. Possibility reduces fear. Reduced fear allows more action. More action builds skill. Skill builds confidence. Another important idea is that action breaks doubt. Doubt grows in stillness. When you delay, your mind creates stories. Stories of failure. Stories of risk. Action interrupts those stories. It replaces imagination, with experience. Experience is clearer than fear. Another challenge is waiting for motivation. Many people think they must feel ready first, but action creates motivation, not the other way around. Once you begin, energy grows. Your brain rewards progress. Progress feels good. Good feelings encourage repetition. Repetition builds change. Another helpful idea is imperfect action. Waiting for perfect leads to delay. Delay feeds fear. Imperfect action builds momentum. Momentum makes things easier. Another truth is that action updates belief. If you believe, I cannot do this, but you try anyway, your brain sees evidence. Even small success weakens doubt. Beliefs change through proof. Proof comes from doing. Another important idea is that action reduces anxiety. An anxious brain imagines too much. Action brings focus. Focus calms the mind. Calm supports learning. Another challenge is fear of mistakes. Mistakes feel uncomfortable, But mistakes teach. Your brain learns what works and what does not. Learning builds skill. Skill reduces fear. Another helpful idea is action before confidence. Confidence grows after action, not before. Many confident people started uncertain. They acted anyway. Action trained their brain. Their brain learned safety. Safety built confidence. Another truth is that repetition matters. One action helps. Many actions change wiring. Consistency teaches the brain. Daily effort beats rare big effort. Another important idea is linking action to identity. If you act like a learner, your brain builds learner identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior repeated shapes life. Another challenge is overthinking. Thinking too much delays action. Set simple steps. Simple steps reduce resistance. Reduced resistance supports movement. Another helpful idea is counting small wins. Notice effort. Notice progress. Your brain remembers success. Success builds motivation. Another truth is that your brain rewards completion. Finishing tasks creates satisfaction. Satisfaction encourages repetition. This builds habits. Another important idea is physical action. The body teaches the brain. Movement reduces stress. Reduced stress supports learning. Even standing tall affects mindset. Another challenge is all or nothing thinking. Missing one day does not ruin progress. Return gently. Gentle return builds consistency. Another helpful idea is action triggers clarity. Clarity often comes after starting, not before. Start first, understand later. Another truth is that action builds courage. Each step makes the next easier. Courage grows quietly. Another important idea is environment support. Make action easy. Prepare tools. Reduce barriers. Easy starts. Increase repetition. Another challenge is comparing progress. Your pace is yours. Focus on your steps. Comparison slows growth. Another helpful idea is time limits. Set small time goals. Short effort feels manageable. Manageable effort builds routine. Another truth is that action beats intention. Intention without action changes little. Action creates evidence. Evidence changes belief. Another important idea is reflection after action. Notice what worked. Learning refines effort. Refined effort improves results. Another challenge is fear of judgment. Others think less than you imagine. Your growth matters more. Another helpful idea is acting despite fear. Fear can ride along. It does not need control. Action leads. Another truth is that discipline protects action. Motivation fades. Routine remains. Routine supports change. Another important idea is celebrating effort. Reward small progress. Your brain likes reward. Reward strengthens habits. Another challenge is waiting for the right time. The right time often starts now. Small starts matter. Another helpful idea is visualizing action. Picture yourself doing it. Your brain prepares. Preparation reduces fear. Another truth is that growth comes from doing. Learning without action stays theory. Action turns theory into reality. Another important idea is self-trust. Each action kept builds trust. Trust builds confidence. Confidence supports more action. Another challenge is quitting early. Progress hides at first. Stay consistent. Consistency reveals change. Another helpful idea is focusing on process. Results come later. Process builds skill. Skill builds success. Another truth is that action creates identity. Do something often, and it becomes part of you. Identity change lasts longer. Another important idea is simplicity. Complex plans reduce action. Simple steps increase it. Another challenge is energy. Tired minds resist action. Rest supports effort. Balanced energy improves consistency. Another helpful idea is pairing action with routine. Link new actions to daily habits. This helps memory. Another truth is that small actions build big change. Tiny steps repeated reshape life. Another important idea is ownership. You guide your steps. Ownership builds commitment. Another challenge is fear returning. Act anyway. Action weakens fear. Over time, another helpful idea is kindness to yourself. Harshness blocks growth. Support encourages effort. Another truth is that your brain believes what you do more than what you say. Show it action. Let it see effort. It will update. Ideas begin change. Action completes it. When you act, your mind rewires. Your confidence grows. Your life direction shifts. Because action turns ideas into real change. Chapter 9. How Patience Rewires the Brain. Most people want change fast. They want quick results. They want instant progress. When change feels slow, they feel discouraged. They think nothing is working. They think they failed. But real mental change rarely happens quickly. Your brain learns through repetition. Repetition takes time. Time is not the enemy. Time is the teacher. Patience is a rewiring tool. Many people misunderstand patience. They think it means waiting passively. Real patience is active. It means continuing calmly. It means showing up, even when results are small. Your brain builds pathways slowly, like a trail forming in grass. One walk does little. Many walks create a path. Thoughts and actions work the same way. If you expect instant change, you may quit early. Quitting resets progress. Patience protects progress. Another truth is that slow change often lasts longer. Fast change can fade. Slow change roots deeply. Deep roots hold firm. This is how lasting growth happens. Another important idea is emotional patience. Some days feel strong. Some feel heavy. Both are normal. Growth is not a straight line. Your brain updates in layers. Not all at once. Some layers settle quietly. You may not notice daily, but your brain is learning. Another challenge is comparing your speed to others. Everyone rewires differently. Different experiences. Different starting points. Your pace is personal. Respecting your pace reduces pressure. Reduced pressure supports learning. Another helpful idea is trusting the process. Even when progress feels invisible, pathways are forming. Invisible progress is still progress. Seeds grow underground first. Mental change is similar. Another truth is that frustration slows rewiring. A frustrated brain focuses on problems. A calm brain absorbs learning. Calm patience supports growth. Another important idea is noticing small improvements. Small signs matter. A calmer reaction, a better choice, a quicker recovery. These are proof of change. Your brain learns from proof. Proof builds belief. Belief builds confidence. Another challenge is boredom. Repeating helpful habits can feel dull, but repetition wires strength. Boring practice creates real change. Athletes train this way. So does your brain. Another helpful idea is setting gentle expectations. Expect effort, not perfection. Perfection creates pressure. Effort builds pathways. Another truth is that patience protects motivation. When you accept slow progress, you keep going. Consistency matters more than speed. Another important idea is rest. Your brain rewires during rest, especially during sleep. Sleep organizes learning. A tired brain struggles to change. Rest supports patience. Another challenge is self-criticism. Harsh words create stress. Stress blocks learning. Kind self-talk supports growth. You do not need praise. You need fairness. Another helpful idea is long-term thinking. Ask where you want to be months from now. Daily patience builds that future. Future focus reduces urgency. Another truth is that setbacks are part of learning. Old patterns may return. This does not erase progress. It shows your brain is still updating. Return gently to helpful habits. Gentle return strengthens wiring. Another important idea is staying curious. Curiosity keeps the mind open. An open mind learns faster. Closed thinking slows change. Another challenge is fear of wasted effort. No effort is wasted. Each attempt teaches your brain. Learning accumulates. Another helpful idea is tracking progress. Notice patterns. Awareness shows growth. Seeing growth builds patience. Another truth is that your brain likes stability. Sudden big change feels risky. Gradual change feels safe. Safety supports rewiring. Another important idea is celebrating consistency, not results only. Consistency matters. Your brain rewards repetition. Another challenge is outside pressure. Others may expect speed. Your brain needs timing. Protect your pace. Another helpful idea is breaking goals small. Small steps feel achievable. Achievable steps encourage continuation. Another truth is that patience reduces fear. When you allow time, pressure drops. Low pressure supports learning. Another important idea is identity patience. You are becoming, not arriving. Becoming takes time. Another challenge is forgetting progress. Look back sometimes. You have changed already. Recognition builds trust. Trust supports patience. Another helpful idea is breathing through frustration. A breath resets the mind. Reset supports calm. Calm supports learning. Another truth is that confidence grows quietly, not loudly, not instantly. Quiet growth lasts. Another important idea is accepting slow days. Some days feel flat. Flat days still count. Consistency includes slow days. Another challenge is all or nothing thinking. Missing once does not ruin progress. Return the next day. Returning builds strength. Another helpful idea is focusing on direction. Direction matters. More than speed. Keep moving forward. Another truth is that your brain needs time to trust new ideas. Trust grows through repetition. Another important idea is emotional recovery. After hard days, be gentle. Gentleness supports resilience. Resilience supports patience. Another challenge is expecting motivation daily. Motivation fades. Routine remains. Routine builds change. Another helpful idea is reminding yourself why you started. Purpose fuels patience. Another truth is that patience is not weakness. It is strength. It shows commitment. Another important idea is accepting the journey. Growth is ongoing. There is no finish line, only progress. Another challenge is wanting certainty. Change is uncertain. Patience holds space for uncertainty. Another helpful idea is trusting small steps. Small steps compound. Compounding builds results. Another truth is that your future self depends on today's patience. Each calm repeat builds tomorrow's mindset. Another important idea is self-respect. Respect your pace. Your brain is learning. Learning deserves time. Another challenge is giving up too soon. Stay a little longer. Growth may be near. Another helpful idea is remembering that slow progress is still progress, still counts, still works. Another truth is that rewiring is a quiet process. You feel it later. One day, you notice change. You think differently, react differently. That is patience at work. Patience teaches the brain that change is safe. Safe change lasts. Lasting change shapes life. So stay steady, stay gentle, Stay patient. Your mind is learning, even when you cannot see it. And with time, your new thinking becomes your natural thinking. That is how patience rewires the brain. Chapter 10. Letting go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. Every person carries old beliefs. Some are helpful, some are limiting. Many beliefs were formed long ago, in childhood, in school, in early experiences. At the time, those beliefs made sense. They helped you explain the world. They helped you protect yourself. But not all old beliefs still fit your life today. Some quietly hold you back. A belief can sound like, I am not the confident type. I always struggle. People like me don't succeed. These beliefs feel personal, but they are learned. What is learned can be unlearned. Your brain keeps beliefs that feel familiar, even if they are outdated. Familiar feels safe, but safe is not always helpful. Letting go does not mean forgetting the past. It means updating your story. Another truth is that beliefs are filters. They shape what you notice. If you believe you are bad at something, your brain looks for proof. It highlights mistakes. It ignores progress, not because it is cruel, because it is consistent. Consistency is how the brain works. Changing beliefs changes what you see. Another important idea is questioning beliefs. Many beliefs go unexamined. They run quietly. Ask simple questions. Where did this belief start? Is it always true? Does it help me now? Gentle question. Create awareness. Awareness opens choice. Choice allows change. Another challenge is emotional attachment. Some beliefs carry memories. Letting go feels strange, but updating a belief does not erase history. It honors growth. You are allowed to outgrow old stories. Another helpful idea is replacing, not removing. If you drop a belief without a new one, the brain returns to the old. Add a better belief, a realistic one, not extreme, not fake. Balanced beliefs stick. For example, replace I always fail with I am learning. This feels believable. Believable thoughts wire easier. Another truth is that identity beliefs are the strongest. Beliefs about who you are shape behavior deeply. If you believe I am shy, you may avoid speaking. Avoidance reinforces the belief. Break the cycle gently. Act once differently. One new action creates new evidence. Evidence weakens old identity. Another important idea is patience. Old beliefs formed over years. They do not leave overnight. Repeating new ideas builds new pathways. New pathways grow stronger. Old ones fade. Another challenge is fear of change. Your brain prefers predictable patterns, even limiting ones. New beliefs feel uncertain. Uncertainty is normal. Stay gentle. Gentle repetition works. Another helpful idea is noticing triggers. Certain situations activate old beliefs. Notice when this happens. Awareness reduces automatic reaction. You gain space. Space allows choice. Another truth is that beliefs are not facts. They are interpretations. Interpretations can update. You are not trapped by old meanings. Another important idea is self-compassion. Blaming yourself strengthens negative beliefs. Kindness softens them. Softness supports change. Another challenge is outside influence. Others may repeat old labels to you. You do not have to accept them. Not every opinion deserves space in your mind. Choose what to keep. Another helpful idea is writing beliefs down. Seeing them clearly reduces their power. You can examine them. Reflection builds clarity. Another truth is that action updates belief faster than thinking. Try new behavior. Let your brain see evidence. Experience teaches deeply. Another important idea is emotional release. Some beliefs hold emotion. Talking, writing, reflecting, these help release. Release creates space for new ideas. Another challenge is all or nothing thinking. Beliefs rarely need extremes. Balanced thinking feels safer. Safety supports learning. Another helpful idea is using growth language. Say, I am becoming, not I am stuck. Language guides wiring. Another truth is that your future does not need your old beliefs. You can carry lessons without carrying limits. Another important idea is support. Trusted people help you see clearly. Perspective helps updating. Another challenge is comfort zones. Old beliefs protect comfort. Growth needs small risk. Safe risk builds confidence. Another helpful idea is visualizing change. Picture yourself thinking differently. The brain rehearses. Rehearsal prepares pathways. Another truth is that belief change feels slow but works quietly. One day, your reaction shifts. That is progress. Another important idea is noticing exceptions. If you believe, I am bad at this, find times you are not. Exceptions weaken limits. Another challenge is discouragement. Progress may feel invisible. Trust repetition. Repetition rewires. Another helpful idea is affirming effort. Effort builds identity. Identity builds belief. Another truth is that your brain wants to help you. It holds beliefs to protect you. Thank it silently, then guide it better. Cooperation works. Another important idea is ownership. You guide your thoughts. Guidance shapes beliefs. Beliefs shape choices. Choices shape life. Another challenge is guilt about the past. You learned with what you knew. Now you know more. Growth is allowed. Another helpful idea is focusing forward. Look at who you are becoming. Future focus supports change. Another truth is that letting go creates space. Space allows growth. Growth builds confidence. Another important idea is calm repetition. Repeat helpful truths gently. Gentle words wire deeply. Another challenge is doubt returning. Return to new beliefs. Each return strengthens them. Another helpful idea is celebrating small shifts. Notice different reactions. Small change counts. Another truth is that you are not fixed. Your mind is flexible. Flexibility allows updates. Another important idea is self-respect. Choose beliefs that respect you. Respect builds strength. Another challenge is impatience. Belief change takes time. Time plus repetition creates rewiring. Another helpful idea is reflection. Ask what beliefs help you grow. Keep those. Release the rest. Another truth is that you can rewrite your inner story, not by force, by practice. Old beliefs served once. New beliefs serve now. You are allowed to update. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to think differently about yourself. And when your beliefs change, your choices change. When your choices change, your direction changes. That is how letting go creates a new future. Chapter 11. The power of consistency over motivation. Many people wait to feel motivated. They wait for energy. They wait for the right mood. They think change begins when motivation appears. But motivation is unreliable. Some days it is strong. Some days it disappears. If you depend on motivation, your progress will rise and fall. Your brain does not change from occasional effort. It changes from repeated effort. This is where consistency matters. Consistency means showing up even when you feel average. Not tired, not excited, just willing. Willing is enough. Your brain learns from patterns, not from intensity. One big effort does less than many small efforts. Small daily action teaches the brain. Teaching builds pathways. Pathways shape habits. Habits shape identity. Another truth is that motivation follows action, not the other way around. When you start, energy often grows. Progress feels good. Good feeling create motivation, but it starts with action. Another important idea is reducing decision fatigue. If you decide daily whether to act, you drain energy. Consistency removes choices. It turns action into routine. Routine saves energy. Saved energy supports change. Another challenge is emotional days. Some days feel heavy. Consistency still works. Even small effort counts. A short practice, a tiny step, small counts. Your brain records it. Another helpful idea is minimum standards. Set small daily goals, easy goals. Increase success. Success builds momentum. Momentum builds habit. Another truth is that habits feel easier over time. Repetition reduces resistance. Your brain prefers familiar actions. Consistency creates familiarity. Familiarity builds comfort. Comfort supports continuation. Another important idea is identity. If you act consistently, you see yourself differently. You become someone who shows up. Identity drives behavior. Behavior repeated shapes life. Another challenge is missing a day. Missing once does not break progress. Quitting does. Return quickly. Returning builds strength. Another helpful idea is tracking effort. Seeing progress reinforces habit. Your brain likes proof. Proof builds belief. Another truth is that discipline is a form of self-respect. It shows care for your future. Future focus supports consistency. Another important idea is environment support. Make habits easy. Prepare tools. Reduce friction. Easy starts. Increase repetition. Another challenge is boredom. Repeating actions can feel dull, but dull practice creates strong wiring. Strength comes from repetition. Another helpful idea is linking habits to daily routines. Attach new actions to existing ones. This helps memory. Another truth is that small wins build confidence. Confidence supports more action. This cycle grows. Another important idea is self-talk. Say, I show up daily. Language shapes identity. Identity shapes behavior. Another challenge is perfection. Perfection slows action. Progress matters more. Done beats perfect. Another helpful idea is time blocking. Choose a simple time for practice. Regular timing builds rhythm. Rhythm builds routine. Another truth is that your brain likes predictability. Predictable habits wire faster. Another important idea is forgiveness. If you slip, be kind. Guilt drains energy. Kindness supports return. Another challenge is comparison. Your routine is your journey. Focus inward. Comparison distracts. Another helpful idea is focusing on process. Results take time. Process builds skill. Skill builds success. Another truth is that effort always teaches. Even imperfect effort. Learning accumulates. Another important idea is patience. Consistency works quietly. Results appear later. Trust the process. Another challenge is expecting fast change. Deep wiring takes time. Stay steady. Another helpful idea is reminders. Visual cues prompt action. Cues build repetition. Another truth is that motivation comes and goes. Consistency stays. Consistency wins. Another important idea is self-trust. Keeping promises to yourself builds trust. Trust builds confidence. Another challenge is overloading. Too many goals break consistency. Keep it simple. Simple lasts. Another helpful idea is celebrating effort. Notice showing up. Your brain values reward. Reward reinforces habits. Another truth is that daily action beats weekly bursts. Frequency matters. Another important idea is commitment. Decide once. Repeat daily. Decision fatigue drops. Another challenge is distractions. Protect focus time. Focus fuels habit. Another helpful idea is pairing habits with enjoyment. Enjoyment increases repetition. Another truth is that growth comes from steady effort, not sudden bursts. Another important idea is ownership. Your habits shape your future. Choose them wisely. Another challenge is fear returning. Act anyway. Action weakens fear. Another helpful idea is calm persistence. Not force, not pressure, steady effort. Another truth is that consistency creates transformation. Slowly, quietly, surely. One day, your actions feel natural. Your mindset feels different. Not because of motivation, because of repetition. Motivation starts, consistency continues, and what continues creates change. Show up gently. Show up often. Your brain will learn. Your life will shift. Because consistency is stronger than motivation. Chapter 12. Becoming the person your mind believes you are. Throughout this journey, you have learned something powerful. Your mind is not fixed. It is shaped by ideas, actions, repetition, emotion, and environment. Most people never realize this. They live inside old patterns. They repeat old stories. They expect the same future. But you now understand something different. Your mind listens to what you repeat. It follows what you practice. It becomes what you feed it. This means your future is not only something that happens to you, it is something you influence, not with force, not with pressure, but with steady guidance. Another truth is this: you do not become confident by wishing for it. You become it by practicing the thoughts and actions that build it. Identity grows from repetition. If you think like a learner, act like a learner, and speak like a learner, your brain accepts that identity. If you practice calm, your brain learns calm. If you practice growth, your brain learns growth. You become what you repeatedly do and think. Another important idea is that change is lifelong. There is no final version of you, no finished mind. You are always updating, always adapting. This is not a weakness. It is a gift. It means you are never stuck. Another challenge people face is returning to old habits. This may happen. Old pathways do not disappear overnight, but now you know how to build new ones. Return gently. Repeat helpful ideas. Act again. Each return strengthens the new path. Another truth is that awareness is your greatest tool. When you notice your thoughts, you gain choice. Choice creates direction. Direction creates change. Without awareness, patterns run automatically. With awareness, you guide them. Another important idea is self-trust. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your trust grows. Trust builds confidence. Confidence supports action. Action builds identity. This cycle can serve you for life. Another challenge is expecting perfect progress. Progress is not perfect. It is human. Some days are strong, some are slow. Both count. Consistency matters more than perfection. Another helpful idea is focusing on direction, not speed. If you are moving forward, you are growing. Slow growth still changes your life. Another truth is that small daily thoughts shape big life paths. A tiny belief repeated can redirect your future. This is how mind and lives transform, quietly, gradually, surely. Another important idea is protecting your mind. Choose what you repeat. Choose what you consume. Choose what you believe. Not everything deserves space in your mind. You are allowed to choose better ideas. Another challenge is outside doubt. Some people may not understand your growth. That is okay. They see your past. You are building your future. Stay patient with them. Stay committed to yourself. Another helpful idea is reflection. Sometimes pause and notice your change. You may think differently, react differently, recover faster. This is rewiring. Even if it feels small, it is real. Another truth is that confidence is not loud. It is steady. It is the quiet belief that you can learn, adapt, and continue. Another important idea is self-compassion. Harshness slows growth. Kindness supports it. Treat yourself like someone learning, because you are. Another challenge is fear returning. Fear may visit. Let it come. Let it pass. You do not need to obey it. You now know how to guide your mind. Another helpful idea is focusing on today. You rewire your brain in daily moments, not in one big decision. Today's thoughts matter. Today's actions matter. Days become years. Years become identity. Another truth is that you are more capable than you once believed. Your brain can change. Your beliefs can change. Your habits can change. So your direction can change. Another important idea is ownership. No one else can think for you. No one else can rewire your mind. Support helps, but practice is yours. This is responsibility, but it is also power. Another challenge is forgetting what you learned. You do not need to remember every lesson. Live them, practice them. They will return when needed. Another helpful idea is staying curious. Curiosity keeps the mind open. An open mind keeps growing. Another truth is that your future self is built by your present mind. What you repeat today becomes tomorrow's normal. Choose wisely. Choose gently. Another important idea is hope. Hope is not fantasy. It is a direction. Repeated hope wires optimism. Optimism supports action. Action builds results. Results strengthen belief. Another challenge is giving up too soon. Real change often appears after patience. Stay a little longer. Practice a little more. Your brain is learning, even when you do not see it. Another helpful idea is calm persistence. Not forcing, not rushing. Steady guidance, like water shaping stone. Another truth is that your story is still being written. Old chapters do not decide the ending. New ideas write new pages. Another important idea is becoming intentional. Live on purpose. Think on purpose. Repeat on purpose. Your brain follows direction. Give it a good one. Another challenge is believing you must transform into someone else. You do not. You are refining who you already are, growing, expanding, learning. Another helpful idea is gratitude. Be grateful for your ability to change. Not everyone realizes they can. You do. Another truth is that rewiring your mind and rewires your life, because your thoughts guide your choices. Your choices guide your direction, and your direction guides your future. You are not the same person who started this journey. Even small awareness changes thinking. Thinking changes behavior. Behavior changes life, and this is only the beginning. Your mind will keep learning as long as you guide it, gently, patiently, consistently. You do not need a perfect mind. You need a guided one, a mind fed with better ideas, a mind supported by action, a mind shaped by patience. Keep choosing thoughts that build you. Keep repeating ideas that grow you. Keep acting on what you learn. Over time, your mind will believe in your potential, and when your mind believes it, your life begins to follow. That is how the right ideas rewire your mind, not for a moment, but for life.